Hello, my name is Sinead. I am a dietitian and nutritional advisor for the Econ Group. So today I want to speak to you about nutrition and colostomy. But just before we get on to that, I do want to stress that the information is very general and it's very individual to each and every person. So what works food-wise for one person might not work for the next person and vice versa. If you have any issues or any concerns, it is important that you do speak to your healthcare professional, your dietitian, your GP, your stomach nurse. So, diet and colostomy. So you've had your surgery, and the dietary guidelines would be to introduce food gradually, but the main aim is to getting back to a balanced diet, having foods from each of the food groups. And I will discuss what a balanced diet is and why it is important that you're choosing from each of the food groups in another video. So once you've had your surgery, there is no reason that you should be restricting your diet or going on to a restrictive diet after surgery. We want you to get back to your normal diet or a normal diet, and with the focus being on a balanced diet. There are, however, certain considerations that maybe you maybe need to think about once you've had your surgery, and these could be, as I spoke to you before, about tolerance. Some people might be able to tolerate getting back to his normal diet very quickly straight after surgery, where this maybe just does not happen as quick for somebody else. There's certain foods, and I would call them trigger foods, and I will discuss some trigger foods in another video. But these trigger foods could cause issues, can cause maybe things like odor or discomfort or wind. And it is important, as I said before, to highlight the fact that it is very individual. What works for one person will not or might not work for the next person. So keeping even a food diary or a food tolerance diary, trying foods, it's trial and error. Maybe what you've tried today maybe just did not sit well with you, did not work well with you. Maybe further down the line, further into your recovery, you maybe reintroduce that food back into your diet and it might just work okay. They'll have no issues at all. Other things to consider would be your appetite. Maybe prior you've had your surgery, you were very unwell and you maybe didn't have a very good appetite. It does not mean that your appetite will return now that you've just had your surgery. You maybe still have that poor appetite, and it just takes a wee bit longer for that to return. So maybe trying a softer diet, things that maybe aren't as heavy or as hard on the digestive system, would be something to consider. Small frequent meals is another consideration. Unable to tolerate 3 large meals in the day, so maybe having smaller meals at shorter intervals is something that maybe works better for you. Also eating late at night. That nocturnal stool production, thinking about that there, not having a late meal, so you're not having to get up and your bag's being full in the middle of the night. But as I said at the start, it is very individual and it is very trial and error. But where we want you to be with after your surgery, your colostomy surgery, is getting back to your normal diet with the focus on a balanced diet. Okay, thank you.